Hi, I'm Jon Stapleton with CodeVA, and this is a quick tutorial on functions with parameters in practice using the Python coding language. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to work with Python to create like text-based interactive narratives, and I'm going to specifically show you how to use functions with parameters to add like monsters to your text-based adventure game. So jump right into it. Here's Replit. Got my editor up. We are going to do some coding. So the idea here is we want the player to encounter a monster, and we want that interaction to be stored inside of a like a function. We want to organize all that code into one area. So first what I'm going to do is write the monster interaction. So we'll say you encounter a what's a good monster? Shark. I don't know. Maybe like an underwater game. I don't know. Okay. Then what we want to do is have this loop where the player can like fight the monster, I guess. I don't know. Don't think too hard about the politics of fighting a monster in a game. It's a rabbit hole that we can talk about at a different time, I suppose. So okay. So we'll say maybe our options are like, do you want to run or fight? Don't fight a shark. Answer. We'll collect their input, whatever the choice is, and if the answer is run, the right answer, we'll say the monster retreats. I guess I don't know. It's not going to chase them, and then if they didn't say that, then if they said fight, then we'll have to have the computer do some fight stuff. I don't know what that is yet. And then if they don't do any of those things, okay, great. That's sort of the basic idea, right? Now this interaction, I want the fight to continue until one of two things has happened. Either the monster HP is at 0, right? In a game, like you have like health points to keep track of how healthy the monster is, or the player's HP is 0, right? If the monster defeats the player, that would be that. Or if the player says run, right? Then we can end it at that point. So what I'm going to do is create a loop. Create a little loop here. My loop is going to allow me to repeat the same section of code until things are done, until I want the loop to stop. Sorry, maybe you heard my dogs back there. They saw something outside. Okay, so we have a loop. I'll figure out the condition in a second. I'm just going to indent everything. All right, cool. Now, when do we want the loop to stop? Well, we can have the loop stop if in a couple of situations, right? Either the user is going to say run, in which case we want them to we want to stop the loop because they've run away, right? Or I'll do this in a slightly different way. We'll say HP is greater than 0. This will be the monster's HP. I'll set the monster's HP to 5. Okay, sorry about that. I was going to go down a more complicated route, and this is easier. We have a variable, HP equals 5. This will be the monster's HP. And while the monster has HP, we're going to continue the fight. That's what it is. Now, we have to add some fight stuff before we can test this right now. Because right now, nothing is modifying our loop control variable. So in order for the code to end, we need to I don't know. How do you fight a monster? You take a swing, right? And then we'll say HP equals HP minus 1. Okay. Great. Now, our loop control variable is being modified, so eventually we'll get down to 5, and that's good. Now, we also want the loop to end when the user selects run. So to make that happen, I'll say HP equals 0. That'll just end the loop. Okay, I've done a lot of stuff without functions with parameters. We're going to get there, I promise. But first, I'm going to test this and make sure everything works okay. You encounter a shark. Do you want to run or fight? I'm going to fight. Okay. Ooh, we should tell them how much damage we do. And deal 1 damage. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit easier to test. I'm just going to make the HP 1. That way we don't have to fight multiple times. Okay. Fight. Okay. All right, and that's the end, right? Let's add another print at the end here, just so we can see that. The end. Wonderful. Okay. We are in business. We have our basic code. Now, the other thing that needs to happen here is we need the player to have HP, and for the player's HP to be affected. Make another variable for that. Player HP equals 2. Now, at the top of the loop, I'm just going to immediately deal some damage to the player. That's fine. The shark attacks and deals 1 damage. Actually, maybe I should put this at the end. Cool. We'll do this after the player gets a chance to do their thing. That way it's a little bit more fair. So this is still inside. This is still indented within the while loops. This is still part of our fight loop. Now, if the player HP is 0, then let's end the loop here as well. Great. Okay. We've got a section where the player does damage to the monster, a section where the monster does damage to the player. I think we have our thing. Let's test. So I should only be able to fight twice, right? I can't fight. Let's make the monster more strong than the player. So it's going to do damage. If it does 2 damage to me, then I will. All right, there. We did the end, right? Maybe we do have a message that says, like, you passed out. Okay. Now, this is all has nothing to do with functions with parameters. I just created a little game where I can fight a shark. This isn't super sophisticated or anything. But what I want to do is make it so in my game I can have like lots of monsters with different names and different amounts of damage. So first what I'm going to do is encapsulate all of this code into a function. So I'm just going to move some of this stuff up a little bit. Get my variables out of the way. So all of this code belongs to the fight. So indent it all, call it monster. Great. And I'm actually going to, monster. Now, here's the problem, though. My monsters right now, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just demonstrate that real quick. So you find yourself in a watery shipwreck. I don't know. Now I can call the monster function, and then the computer will run my fight loop. Now the problem here is my monster function only does sharks. I want it to do all sorts of monsters. So to make this happen, I'm going to add a parameter. My parameter will be name, and what this will do is allow me to define the name variable when I call the monster function, rather than defining it elsewhere. And I can grab this name variable and insert it wherever I say shark. Great. So now I have defined the names, and when I have the computer run the monster function, the computer's going to insert that name into wherever I need it, which is nice because now I can have 2 fights. I have other problems here. Hold on. We can't quite test it yet. I'm gonna do the same thing for damage. Okay. Same situation. I want some of my monsters to be stronger than others. The tuna should not be stronger than the shark, right? Or should not be the same strength. So, that's the amount of damage that the enemy will take. So I'll use the damage variable for that. And then I also need to insert it here. Great. We got it. So now when I call, the tuna can do 1 damage, the shark can do 2 damage, and we have different strength of enemies. Now this error over here, local HP referenced before assignment, that is problematic. Actually, I should have done this slightly differently. I've given away the game a little bit, but that's okay. This is a secret sneak peek. You can do damage like that. But really also what I want to do is define HP, right? The monster HP. Every monster should have different HP also. So I'll just add a third parameter. That's super easy. HP. The tuna is going to have 3 HP. The shark is going to have 4 HP. And now wherever I see HP, I don't even need this anymore. The function is going to use this one. Now I also have player HP. Is this going to work yet? Yes, I think so. Let's try it. No, it doesn't work yet because we can't use variables in our function the way it's set up. In order to make this work, the last thing I need to implement is a global variable. So I'll make my globals.py file, grab this. This one's left over from a different project. And then at the top, I'll import that variable. Now I can just use the word HP now because it's in its own file. I don't have to worry about it. So we'll do globals.hp, globals.hp, and globals.hp. Okay, everything's been refactored. I have my abstract monster function that takes 3 parameters, name, damage, and HP, name, damage, HP, which the computer then uses in that function definition to make it so I can do a bunch of different monsters. I don't know how this is going to work out. Like, I don't know if it's possible for me to win all of these, but like, we'll run. No. I said the monster retreats, but then it attacked. That's a bug for another time. You know, that's okay. But I made it. I think I made it. I don't know. Oh, I did pass out. I passed out, right? Yeah, I want the game to end when I pass out. There's a lot of things to deal with here. But this is a good starting point. It sort of demonstrates how you can use functions with parameters to make monsters. If you have any questions about this, if you have any trouble getting this set up for yourself, we would love to help. Otherwise, good luck and happy coding.